The gaming industry is completely changing. We have a breaking story here from Hip Hop Gamer about the PlayStation 6 and that they may as well be having Steam integrated into their next console. Call of Duty, how is it doing? Even though we saw their sales were down comparatively to last year's Black Ops 6, which was a record breaking year, seems like they're still on top of the charts in terms of users over Battlefield 6, at least as of right now. Red Dead Redemption gets its upgrade. How does it run on the Xbox Series X and S? Game Awards, they teased the statue. What is going on with this statue? There's lots of conflicting information. Some people saying it's Diablo, it's God of War. We don't know what it is, but there are conflicting insiders that are not corroborating the same thing here. So we'll take a look at that. And then we have some other teases here for some Game Awards announcements. Before we do get into it, if you enjoy daily gaming news and content, hit the subscribe, share, like all of that stuff. For now, let's get into it. So the hip hop gamer who has been known to put out stuff that has come true has put out another big video here talking about the future of the PlayStation 6. And this one is extremely interesting because this changes the entire landscape and discussion about the next generation. Right now, when we think about the next generation, in most people's mind it is Xbox coming out with their console PC hybrid, which is going to give you the most access in the console space, giving you access to all of your PC stuff, giving you access to PlayStation games because they're on PC, allowing you to install different launchers and everything, giving you your whole Xbox console catalog, Xbox PC catalog. They've talked about kind of having two sides of the console side itself where you can boot into, and the PC side as well. And to me, that's a more open ecosystem. Very excited about that. I'm happy that Xbox is going in that direction because I do like having the options of basically choosing where and what I want to play. But then you were thinking about the PlayStation 6, and most people thought they're just going to continue what they're doing because their sales are the same trajectory as they were for the PS4, and they're going to give you a closed off PlayStation 6 and then still put their games onto PC. But it looks like from this video, that may not be the case. Hip Hop Gamer put out a breaking news video. I would say pretty breaking news if this all does end up coming true. And he is saying that Steam is coming to PlayStation 6 confirmed. He's confirming that this is happening from his inside information. Obviously, he's not going to give away the sources as to where he's getting this information from, but he is confirming specifically in this video Steam is coming to PlayStation 6. It's going to be a more open ecosystem. And one of the main reasons they're doing this is because of just how lucrative the PC side has been for PlayStation, which to me, that makes sense. I mean, PlayStation and PC have done good together. PC obviously is very helpful for getting PlayStation to make as much money as possible. I know we've heard some other rumors that they were pulling back on PC. That completely made zero sense. If you take a look at the amount of money they make off of PC, there was an article we talked about last week with just the insane amounts that they were making. So they're going to want to continue to dip into PC. The other thing is too, is if you look at the trajectory of the PS5, yes, it's selling very well. It's selling the same amount as the PS4. Around that may end up being a tiny bit less or maybe a tiny bit more, but nothing completely different from how good the PS4 sold. They are having troubles growing their console base. And this is something that we have talked about and that we have seen is that the console market is stagnating. Generation to generation, you're not seeing a massive jump in people jumping in and picking up consoles on the PlayStation and on the Xbox side. And that they can't have that. Even if they're selling 100 million, they can't just continue to sell 100 million. The line has to go up some way or another. And the way that that is going to happen is by dipping more into PC and getting more people to be able to access and try to attract more people to the platform. They open the ecosystem up, and this is a whole new ballgame. This is PC players looking at the PlayStation 6 as something that they want to pick up and add it to their experience, added to their TV, to their home entertainment system. And then now you're going to have Xbox doing the same thing. And that brings into question, where is going to happen next generation? Because when I was looking at it at this point, is that to me, the Xbox as a product for the next generation, they're going to be more niche. They're going to be expensive, and they're going to really be targeting the people that want everything, targeting the people that want a higher end PC style of experience. And that's going to be not something they're expecting to sell millions and millions and millions of consoles of, but they're going to be able to target a specific niche and then license out the Xbox operating system to OEMs. And then they'll have lower entry consoles that will do the same thing. PlayStation, I was assuming, was just going to come in with their same PlayStation 6, maybe have like a $700 price for it. And that was going to be what they were hoping would continue to be the next generation. And they would sell the same amount as they did with the PS5 and the PS4. I think they're looking at their numbers and they're seeing they have to do something more to expand. And that's kind of what he is saying here, is that they are very happy with PC. And the next generation of PlayStation is going to be a more open ecosystem. And if that's the case, you're going to have Xbox and PlayStation both basically trying to do the same thing. And that takes away some of that advantage that next Xbox would have over the PlayStation. I would say the big advantage is the openness and being able to access everything, PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. If PS6 does this, they're doing the same thing, but they also have that advantage of getting games actually natively given to them from Xbox to be played on the PlayStation console. So who knows if this is going to end up happening or not, but this is what the Hip Hop Gamer is saying. The other thing he does touch on in this video is PS3 saying is basically ready for their backwards compatibility. They just don't want to do it because they know that they can resell their PlayStation 3 games and make more money off of that, which is kind of, I think, a bad move. I think that they should be bringing in that backwards compatibility for PS3 fully, especially going into the next generation. I think that would be a good selling point for them. He also talks about that there's going to be a PlayStation home experience going into PS6. So lots of stuff here. Very interesting, very, very intriguing when you think about the future of the next gen, especially if PlayStation opens up and brings over Steam and gives you a more open ecosystem where you can boot into the PC side and then you can boot into PlayStation. And if they're running Windows as a way to boot into PC as well, it's like there's no more competition because Xbox, Windows, they're all just kind of working together and giving us different choices of a box that we do want to play on. You go down here, this person says, so why should we get this over a PC or a next-gen Xbox that can already play PlayStation games? You say this person says, that's interesting, but I don't see the benefit for PlayStation. Unlike Xbox, they have Windows as their OS. Therefore, it allows the OS to grow and fight off Linux direct competition, but PlayStation will get nothing from this unless the next PlayStation is on Linux. Maybe they'll be on Windows. Like maybe they're going to make a partnership with Microsoft. And then again, that just completely blurs the line. The console war is completely dead. You have a lot of people in the comments mad at him saying that it isn't going to come true. I mean, anytime you bring up PlayStation going over to PC more, even I get the comments, is like you have PlayStation fanboys that are so angry about the facts and the truth and what's right in front of our eyes that they have embraced PC and they're going to continue to embrace PC because it makes them money. And for gamers, that's a good thing, getting more people to actually be able to play those games. So I don't understand what the pushback against that is. But if this comes true, this will be pretty crazy if both Xbox and PlayStation have Steam. And again, it would be PlayStation looking at, I would say, what Xbox has been doing with opening up their ecosystem and saying, yeah, we got to get that line to go up and this is the best way to do it. And they're going to follow in those footsteps. And it's another point against the fact that, yeah, the console market has stagnated and just selling console hardware is not the play anymore for these companies. They need to make more money. And with the development costs going up, and the way to do that is to get your games more places and now open up your ecosystem more than it has ever been opened up before. All right, Call of Duty, Black Ops 7. We got some preliminary European sales numbers, and we saw that they were down a significant amount comparatively to Black Ops 6. One of the things that a lot of people just didn't mention was that Black Ops 6 was a record year for them in terms of sales. So it's not shocking that Black Ops 7 would be lower in terms of the sales. It's basically an exact sequel to Black Ops 6. There isn't this huge hype around it comparatively to what we've seen when there's one into a new series that comes out the next year. And overall, there's a lot of crossover between the two games. Now, that doesn't mean that Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is a dead game or failed in any stretch of the imagination. I still think it's going to be a top game, a top selling game for the year. We have more numbers here that are kind of showing that this game is still going to be on top of the charts one way or another, even though it's so less than Black Ops 6. Got Charlie Intel here saying Call of Duty includes Black Ops 7, Warzone, and Black Ops 6 was the number 2 most played game on PlayStation and the number 1 game on Xbox for the week ending November 22nd in the US. And Battlefield continues to fall in the top 10 charts. So you look here at the charts, number 1 game on PlayStation is Fortnite, followed by Call of Duty. You go down, Battlefield is number 6. On Xbox, it's Call of Duty, followed by Fortnite, and then Battlefield is number 5. So they're both high up in the charts. I mean, they're both very successful games, But Call of Duty is still bringing in more players as of right now. And that's not shocking. I still think Call of Duty is going to be a top selling game of the year, even with a lot of the forced hatred towards it this year. I mean, it's very odd because Black Ops 7, they did a lot of things that players asked for. And I would say from the multiplayer perspective is one of the better ones they've put out in a while. But it's still getting so much hate. And if it's not selling as well, what will they do next year? Are they going to revert some of the things that people have been asking for a very long time simply because the numbers aren't there? Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they see this as a many different reasons that play into the fact that they did have lower sales than Black Ops 6 and they continue with the same trajectory. But we'll see next year, which apparently is going to be Modern Warfare 4, which should be pretty exciting. And I'm sure the marketing will be ramped up for that one. And I think this is going to be the next one for the first time that they don't have it on the Xbox One or the PS4. So you could see somewhat of a more next generational jump in the Call of Duty franchise. Okay, so Game Awards, December 11th. There are already a bunch of teases coming out. Jeff Keighley put out a picture of a statue, creepy looking statue, with a bunch of things teasing that a big announcement was going to happen. Nobody knows what this announcement is. There's been a lot of speculation. I would say the biggest thing that people have been speculating about is that this is the God of War Egypt game. Now, we've seen people say that isn't the case. It isn't going to be that. We've also seen people say this is Diablo 4, an expansion to Diablo 4, specifically Jez saying that it was an expansion to Diablo 4. But we have no idea what it is. And now we have Jason Schreier here kind of refuting what Jez said, not showing where he got that information from. So it's still basically all up in the air as to what this could potentially be. First off, we have Jez here with this time to reinstall Diablo 4, methinks, and he's responding specifically to the statue that was shown off by Jeff Keighley. And someone responds, so it's really an expansion teaser, and then just says yes, but also more. Now, that's what he says it is. That's what he think it is. And Jason Schreier comes out here, I believe this is Reset Era, and says, no idea where Jez is getting that, but this statue is not teasing the Diablo 4 expansion. I don't currently plan on reporting what it is, sorry, but it's a good one. So again, we don't have any idea what this is. People are thinking maybe it's Elder Scrolls 6, which would be insane if we finally saw our first glimpse at this game, aside from the splash screen with the title on it. That would be one of the biggest announcements ever, but I don't think that game is anywhere near coming out. So I would be shocked if that's what it was. But we have so many different things. This person thinks it's Soros news. I would assume this statue is something new. I don't think it would be a game that we already have. That would be my assumption with what Jason is saying here. Like, if it is a good one, it would be something that we don't know about. We have no idea. We're going to wait till December 11th, but as of right now, it's either looking like Diablo 4 or potentially God of War Egypt, although I think that's also been refuted in many ways. So who knows? But it'll be exciting to see exactly what that ends up being when it does come out. All right, we're getting Red Dead Redemption finally upgraded here for the next gen consoles, for the Series X and the PlayStation 5. I don't know why I'm still calling it next gen, the current gen consoles. And it looks like they did a pretty good job here. So if you are interested in this game, I believe they're also putting it 50% off for 2 weeks when it does launch on Xbox. So if you haven't played this yet, it's a phenomenal game. I love the first Red Dead Redemption. But here's how it's looking on the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. So it says here on the Series X, it's running at a resolution of 4K, delivers nice visuals, and a frame rate that seems to be locked at 60 frames per second. And on the Series S, it's at 1440p and locked at 60 frames per second, which is perfect, which is great for the Series S as well. So that's great. And then they say it has a 50% discount on the Xbox Store, or you can grab it as part of the GTA Plus membership. So there is a huge breakdown here if you want to see everything on this and how it does run, but this looks like it's going to be the definitive way to play this game on the console. I think I will end up picking this up if I don't already have it digitally. I know I have the 360 disc version. I'm not sure if I have it digitally, but just to get this upgrade, and you get 50% off. They've done this with games previously, like Silent Hill 2 that just dropped. They did this back when Death Stranding dropped on Xbox. I love how they're doing these 50% off game stuff for games that drop for 2 weeks. Incentivizes people to go pick it up, and you're going to get a lot of people that buy it, and it just sits there in their catalog. They don't play it right away, but they're picking it up because it is 50% off. A game that was on sale was the Master Chief Collection, and because of that, it hits the highest Steam player count since 2021 over the weekend, brought the title up to 12,306 players on Sunday, November 30th. They say here, in what turns out to be the game's most popular day on this platform in almost 4 years, and the game is currently discounted pretty heavily as a part of the Steam Black Friday sale. The Master Chief Collection, in my opinion, is the best compilation that we've ever gotten in a video game, even though it didn't start off properly. They really messed up the servers. It's still phenomenal. I mean, if you don't have the Master Chief Collection, go pick it up. If you like Halo at all, it's amazing going through all of the campaigns again. And then the multiplayer side, they did such a great job after they worked out these initial server issues on the launch experience of it, with just giving you a multiplayer suite where everything is in one place and you can like mix and match a bunch of stuff. Like, it was very, very well done. Something that I'm hoping at one point Xbox looks into doing for Gears of War for the series, giving us a Master Chief style collection in one interface. Everything just works well together, especially on the multiplayer side of things. But Master Chief Collection, one of my favorite compilation probably of all time, but one of my favorite video games of all time, and how they did it. So very good stuff there. And 12,000 people, I know it's not a big number, but for a much older game at this point, the sale did bring it up, and hopefully they continue to just allow this game to live for as long as we want, for as long as it can. Finally, we have two more things here. Another tease for the Game Awards. Neon Giant, who created The Ascent, is going to be showing off their game at the Game Awards. The Ascent is a great game, so this is exciting. They put this out here. The Game Awards reveal nothing is off limits, and then they show off this picture. Not sure what it is, but yeah, I'm excited to see what Neon Giant is working on, because if you haven't played The Ascent, it's like a cyberpunk RPG with that overhead style of view, the isometric view. Very cool game. Lots to do in that game. It's a lot of fun. And finally, Grand Theft Auto 6, a short in development video surfaced online. So if you want to get a look here at some actual GTA 6 leaked footage, it may end up being gone by the time you do get to this, but it says here, Twitter user Synth Potato found the clip from a former Rockstar employee's demo reel portfolio. The name of the employee was, of course, not disclosed, and still the reel has several animations from other Rockstar games like Max Payne 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, furthering its validity. And from the looks of it, it seems the employee worked on a bit of GTA 6 prior to leaving. And as for what the clip is, it's not very much. It is available above, but it looks like it actually has already been taken down. But basically, it's people are unsure if it shows a character or if an NPC or player dismounting from vehicles. And the first half shows a bike. The second half is a render of Vice City alongside what appears to be Lucia, one of GTA 6's playable characters. So yeah, if you are that thirsty and dry for Grand Theft Auto 6 random footage, you can go try to find that somewhere. But I mean, we know this game's coming out next year. It's going to be a big lead up with tons of stuff, I think, that, like this happening before the game does end up dropping. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed again. But yeah, it's going to be the biggest release, I think, probably in entertainment when Grand Theft Auto 6 does drop. But I'm going to end the video there. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.